Welcome back. I have Sunshine Luty and Dan Daly here, who are going to speak to us about the Alzheimer's OC Club. And I know you have events coming up and you have meetings coming up. So Dan, maybe start us off a little bit and tell us, you know, the event that's coming up is really important because we have lots of caregivers in our community. And, you know, as you're going to point out, stress is a big thing.
Oh yeah, it's a major problem, and it's very complicated. It's very complex. In Orange County right now, there are over 84,000 residents afflicted with Alzheimer's or some form of dementia. Now, 25% of all the caregivers for these people happen to be family members. So that is additional stress. So some of the styles of stress that you can get would be depression. It's not unusual for the spouse who's the caregiver to be develop stress and depression quickly. Insomnia is another problem. Headache, malnutrition. People have a tendency to eat more than they normally eat or eat less. And it affects their overall health.
Right.
So that's one of the things that we should focus on.
Right. And you know, is that also because of isolation, because they're inside caring for someone that maybe can't get outside?
Yeah, that would have a lot to do with it as well. They lose all their socialization, which is, when you discuss any type of dementia with a neurologist, a geriatrician, or a primary care provider, they always recommend socialization. It doesn't matter what the age is.
Right.
So that caregiver, they become so entrenched in the role that they're performing that there is no socialization.
Exactly.
So what they rely upon will be the TV or the radio, and that's really not socialization that you want.
Right.
So what we recommend is that they get involved in other activities. Now, some of these activities could be a support group. We have at Alzheimer's Orange County over 60 support groups throughout Orange County. Some of them geared specifically for caregivers, others are geared for other issues. But that would be a form of socialization for them.
Okay.
We also have South County Adult Day Center, which is right down the street here on El Toro Road.
Right.
That can be a great option for the caregiver because they can bring the loved one there for the day, and then it gives them a day off. So they have the opportunity then to take care of their own personal business, or just go out, walk, play golf, do something.
Right.
But the primary goal is that they don't want to neglect their own health.
Well, exactly.
And that can happen very, very quickly. It sneaks up on them, and the next thing they know, their blood pressure is elevated, or they're getting headaches that develop into migraine headaches.
Oh, wow.
And then you have a twofold problem. You have the loved one with dementia, and the caregiver who's sick.
Well, what would you do if somebody if they were caring for someone who was maybe bedridden and that individual couldn't get out of the house? What do you recommend in that case? Because obviously they can't bring them to the daycare. Do you have people that maybe could come to them and help them, or play cards, or do something like that?
Yeah, what we'd recommend is they should contact some respite company that can send in a nurse or somebody to take care of the house, cleaning, also perform some tasks that they get socializing with the caregiver, and at the same time taking care of the bedridden patient. So there are a lot of options out there, and there's a lot of companies providing respite care. And there's a lot of home health agencies. And so I think in Orange County there's got to be 200 to choose
there's a
from.
lot. There's a lot. I just wondered if you had anything specific. Okay, so your event is coming up on January 13th, so that's next week, and Monday 10 to 12. What exactly will you be covering? I mean, I know it says managing caregiver stress, but are you going to talk a little bit about what you just talked about now, or giving them tips and tricks or things like that?
Yeah, actually, Ben Allen, who's an educational specialist for us, he also manages the Memories in the Making, which is a very, very popular program we have. It's one of our signature programs. And that's a program where someone with Alzheimer's or dementia, they actually paint, and that's their way of communicating.
Oh.
So they can go back 40 years, and they might paint a venue where they visited when they were a little girl or a little boy, and they were on vacation with mom and dad, and they illustrate that through their painting.
Oh, that's great.
So that's one of the things he does.
Okay.
As an educational specialist, he also has a spouse who is living in an assisted living facility with Alzheimer's.
Okay.
So he's very upfront and personal about this.
That's good.
And he's living the life of a spouse with somebody with Alzheimer's. So he knows firsthand, and he can empathize with everybody that's going through this as a spouse. So he will give different recommendations, how to deal with this, how to deal with the stress.
Great.
The stress is definitely going to accompany the disease.
Sure.
Now, one of the other programs that we provide at Alzheimer's Orange County, and he'll touch base on this, is called the Savvy Caregiver Training Program.
Okay.
And what we do is it's a 3-week program, and we have it at different venues throughout Orange County. And we take a person, whether it be the family member or a friend who's going to be the caregiver, we actually train them.
Okay.
And we bring them up to speed so that they're going to be very productive in the challenges that they're going to face as a caregiver.
Okay.
And we do provide that program, by the way, at no charge.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Perfect.
And unless you are trained, you're doomed to fail, because you're not going to be able to handle the highs and lows of the emotional outburst.
Right. Oh,
It's very emotional. It's a very challenging task. And it's probably, no question, it's the toughest job on the planet.
I bet it is. Well, thank you for that. Sunshine, I know you're shaking your head a lot, so you obviously identify with everything that he's saying.
I sure do.
And then, so you've been a part of the Alzheimer's OC Club, and meetings are second Monday of every month, right?
That's right.
So tell me what's coming up.
Well, we have coming up after Ben and his special presentation for caregivers, we are back to our brain fitness exercises. Those are coming up in February and March.
All right.
And we have a website out there. So if someone wants to look at the flyers, they maybe lost their flyer and it's not, they can't find one. It's always on the website. So it's Alzheimer'sOCClub.com.
Okay.
And when they go there, there's a place that they can say, oh, I want to look at all the club meetings.
Yes.
And they're out there.
Okay.
We also have a direct link to social services, because social services gives a lot of help to people when they want to have some list of, like you were saying, the helpers.
All the programs and services, and they have all the information down in social
that's good.
services.
Okay, good.
We work very, very closely with them.
Right.
Okay, perfect.
And I have a direct link also to the Alzheimer's OC organization.
Okay, good.
So we have a place where it says Take Me Home program.
Okay.
There's a program set up with officers that they have to help people that wander. And so this has a 2-page fold out of all the information on it.
Okay.
And we have one more thing. We have something different for Alzheimer's. We have 2 benefits coming up this year under the Alzheimer's benefit.
Oh, good. And when is the first one?
The first one's in April, and Dr. Trin, which you know
yes.
very well,
Yes, we do.
is going to be giving an overview of the latest research on Alzheimer's. And we're going to have the OK Chorale. Do you know who they are?
Yes, I've heard of them.
They're going
I
to be
have.
singing.
Oh, that's great. Well, that's good. Well, sounds like you guys have your hands full, and I appreciate all of the information and the fact that you have a website that will be very helpful for everybody. So thank you so much for being here.
Well, thank you, Lisa. Nice to see you again, and let me wish you and Ken and the staff a very happy and successful New Year.
Thank you so much. Same to you too. Thank you. Thank you as well. I appreciate it. All right, thank you. And remember, if you'd like more information about what we just discussed, you can go to the Alzheimer's, let's see, I forgot it, what it was, Alzheimer'sOCClub.com. We'll be right back. Sorry about that.
Mama used to